afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dane, Master of Propaganda. We're off here to a 1 vs 1 on HolyHammer, which I'll be watching on the left-hand side here. Korean Army fighting for the Soviet Union for the glory of Comrade Stalin and the 5th Guards Tank Corps rolling out here, being counter-attacked here by HolyHammer. Fighting for the Fallschirm Panzer Corps, Hermann Göring. Achtung! And already having chosen Breakthrough. Also full suite there of infantry bulletins. Same more or less here for Korean Army. So no real surprises there in a sense. Sturmpioneer, Volksgrenadiere. And several conscripts here away for Korean Army. No starting building right there off the bat. Immediately securing points. We've got the 2nd Volksgrenadier squad there arriving for HolyHammer. HolyHammer. Moving northward there. 2nd conscript squad there. Nothing so far. We've got a northern approach there from the Russians. Southern for the Germans. Pretty standard opening here. Although we do get a bit of slight movement out there. Sturmpioneer there setting up with their Sturmgewehrs, ready to cut down any Russians that might approach a bit too carelessly. Securing fuel. Going for a bit the centre here with the conscript. Got a 3rd squad there on the way for him. Nothing so far further here from HolyHammer. More conscripts. Point there being secured, point there being secured. Now go quick pop into the building, kicking in the door, kicking out the other door, breaking some windows. Standard hooliganism. Got a 3rd squad there, folks, on the way for HolyHammer. Still no sign of a single engagement. There we go. Moving into the church, and there we go, conscripts being spotted by the Volksgrenadiers. Opening up, they're quick pulling up behind the wreckage of a tank. Got another conscript squad moving in from the north here. Volksgrenadiers there, and then quick being outnumbered, then a bit of a tricky situation. Could even, no attempt maybe of a quick Molotov to pop through. The vestry into lighting the entire thing on fire. Troops moving down towards here. Sturmpioneer might move in to deal with them. But it looks like the conscripts were quick to realise what was going on, what they were going to run into, got away. But they're going to sneak behind, or at least gain advantage, and there we go. You got the Sturmpioneers at the same time trying to flank the conscripts, trying to help the conscripts. The Volksgrenadiers falling back there. Some more advantage to engage. And there we go, conscript being caught there. Yuri went down. Yeah, not Yuri. He was the only one who could actually cook, not make it taste like old boot. Sturmpioneers still quickly found themselves around it. HolyHammer wisely pulls back. Volksgrenadiers moving up there. We got a mechanized regiment there on the way for HolyHammer. And there go troops engaged. Might want to pop out of there. I mean, the Volksgrenadiers here really can't support here except, you know, Dieter hiding up on the attic. There go Molotov denying the cover. Volksgrenadiers here trying to flank around. We've got a unit here sneaking up from north. Korean Army here getting very aggressive versus HolyHammer, quickly outmaneuvering. And there we go, immediately training for fuel as well here. For HolyHammer. We got mines going down there. Conscripts sneaking back here in front of the broadside of the church. Though probably not so worried here. Though Boris never quite lived to experience that, no worry. Forces being pushed out further and further. They are not looking too good. In fact, a lot of HolyHammer's forces are a bit beaten up. He should consider maybe getting an officer out to that way help initially. Boost the nearby troops, of course, also provide some combat power there with his Obersoldaten bodyguards. Looks like HolyHammer is not going that route. A bit of a shame there. I mean, a lot of players do tend to neglect the Sturmoffizier, but in fact, the Sturmoffizier is himself, despite not being able to gain veterancy, actually a pretty solid soldier. You know, you've got guards motor there for Korean Army. Forces moving down here secured. Oh, scheisse. Is this a mine? And they've not been reinforced or healed. Got Sturmpioneers attacking down here. Conscript spot it, though they have a lot of sort of open ground between them, which rather forces HolyHammer here to at least temporarily pull them back. Forsight. Very close there, but so far Korean Army's managed to seize a lot of territory there, snatching away from the grasp of Germany. And there we go, some other units hit the mine, leaving numerous men rather dead, or in one case, in bits. Could it be that HolyHammer might instead be opting for an early flak after? I mean, that could give him a slight, well, if properly handled, advantage there versus Korean Army's infantry again. Sturmoffizier would help and could also use breakthrough tactics to rapidly gain through a lot of ground, you know, render a lot of territory neutral, that way gaining it quicker as well. That could also be quite to the advantage there of HolyHammer, if he was to consider it He actually switches over to munitions for a bit there after getting the flak half track. I wonder what he's thinking. That would certainly further help using some aggressive there breakthrough tactics. And the Fallschirmpanzer Corps Hermann Göring was a later sort of expansion of the Fallschirmpanzer Division Hermann Göring, which had throughout the war in fact sort of was in growth, initially being a small battalion brigade, then Panzer Grenadier Division, then Panzer Division, and then sort of midway late 1944 became a full Panzer Corps with a Panzer Grenadier Division Fallschirm also being added in, including some other core elements, including a Panzerfusilier Abteilung Hermann Göring. Indeed, quite a lot there. Quite a lot there. Counter attacking coming from England. We've got the German pioneers falling back. Flak half track there moving up. Ready to cut down some Russians. With murderous glee. We've got Panzer Fusiliers here. Could be one reason might be training for munitions to get some recon packages and whatnot. Again, I would like to see some breakthrough tactics as a very neglected ability. And there you go, full retreat there as the flak half track just tears through them, leaving 6 men dead on the ground.
Our territory is falling into enemy hands.
Another explosion went off. I suspect someone died. Look, or could have been a demo charge. Either way, folks, they're dead. Tot, nichts mehr. He's still trading munitions. He's not really doing much with it. I mean, he could at the very least consider getting some Gewehr for the fleet for those Panzerfusiliere, or you know, use some breakthrough.
The enemy is taking what we have secured.
Use breakthrough tactics. Deutschland demands it.
Your orders, comrade.
Oh, we got the flak half tank Panzerfusilier kicking in the door, which has certainly seen some kickings by now. Conscripts making in there, though they might encounter something they quite weren't expecting. The flak half track, in fact, the flak half track could sit up there, cutting off the escape route. In which case, those conscripts will likely regret it. There you go, second Panzerfusilier unit. Still lots of munitions there being assembled. A bit rare to see a Oberkommand West player this early on active training front. Again, you can imagine he might, use it, but so far he's not quite as much, and it's certainly not where, I'd expect him to use it. That's probably more the trick thing. Oh, we got some mines, so that's good. And here, Korean Army continues his harassment. He's constantly sort of pressuring, pushing at the cut-off points there of HolyHammer. Nicely done, by the way, though we do see HolyHammer now returning the favour there, having had enough of that silly nonsense. There we go, conscript running change to the June Pioniere. Send reloading. And there we go, conscript run off. And straight into the mine, unit wipe there. HolyHammer getting a bit of vengeance there for the lost soldiers of Germany. Still good munitions there being used nice and again, no upgrades, no nothing. And I'm also a bit worried, he's constantly just trading fuel for munitions. I mean, it's personally not something I would recommend doing for longer periods of time. Anyway, he's got troops moving in there, quick grenade here, could maybe do the trick for Germany. Now you've got the field gun setting up nicely, bombarding the church, threatening the entire thing to collapse rapidly. And there we go, we finally got an upgrade there, a recon package on the way for the Panzerfusiliere. Got flak half track moving in here from the north. And there we go, slaughtering the conscripts. They were taking a hit there from the field gun, forcing it back. Bit of a minor engagement here, and there you go, conscripts forced to fall back here into face of the Reich's semi-finest soldiers. No sign of taking up besides a support weapon company there. We're getting some maxims here for Korean Army. Officers still unavailable. I mean, he really should consider a Sturm officer again to boost the nearby troops. Get a bit more out of them, but also maybe use some of that munitions to also use some of his abilities, forcing retreats on units or targeting some down to be easier to kill. Flak half track though, once more effectsbereit. Got a larger assault gun here, we got a field gun by the way. Probably should have spawned that and been indicated of the spot gun company. Panzerfusilier here though, a bit surrounded, trying their best here to cover though, vanishing. They're now in fact just left in heavy cover and ultimately forced to pull away. And we got here Korean Army rapidly pulling back. Here's the presence of the flag half track appears on the horizon. the northern point secured, and it was in fact not very, well, in fact quite uncommon, that they were actually using flak weapons, in particular the lighter ones, versus infantry. Using them to reinforce infantry positions and just, you know, cut down a lot of Russian infantry, or American, or whatever. So, little fun fact there, little fun fact. Although probably not very surprising when you get a high caliber autocannon, good versus aircraft, even good versus people who are notably less armoured than aircraft and much closer than them. Actually, we're setting up. Volkers, ooh, steal a Handgranate, are they? Not quite succeeding, instead blowing up, well, a bit of wood. I imagine HolyHammer's looking forward to this, hitting Veteran C2, in which case it actually becomes much more formidable as an offensive weapon. Not so much because it turns the gun faster, but because it can set up faster, because currently, you know, that's a bit more tricky to set up properly, because it's got about like 4 seconds before it can shoot, whereas once it gets that thing, it becomes notably less than 4 seconds, which overall allows you to be a lot more aggressive with it. And of course that combined with smoke can also allow you to get it out of a sticky situation. Got a heavy mortar round for KoreanArmy. Got 2 punches here with the recon package. Got this setting up. Sturmpioniere, and there we go. Commies are quick to fall back as they encounter a bit more than they had initially expected from the German army. Quick mortar going on there, burning away at the house, and quick steel hand grenade. And there we go, almost getting the entire unit. Glorious strike, and there you go, flamethrower bursts open, engulfing Boris, Ivan and Vasily. But that way, I learned the harsh lesson never to bathe in vodka, no matter how tempting it is.
We need to re-establish our supply lines.
Hey, mortar strikes going in against Volkers. We've got the fuel point cut off here for KoreanArmy. It could be, in fact, he might be trying to play for the T-3045s, a bit of the Soviet meds again. And of course, one way then HolyHammer could try and sort of cut that off. Of course, he's switching over again from munition to fuel, and that way taking up for some bigger armour. In that way, he might be able to catch KoreanArmy a bit off guard. Getting a Kenmare for there just at least initially, so in case he gets something armoured. Though so far, KoreanArmy is largely relying here on infantry. And now a heavy mortar as well. He's still again trading a lot of resource of fuel for munitions. And he's still also himself not using breakthrough tactics at all. I do feel that's a bit of a missed opportunity. And a bit of a waste of breakthrough tactics. So again, it is a very, you know, it doesn't seem like much of an ability, but again, it can be used to sort of really drive your opponent out by quickly cutting off a lot of territory rapidly. And it really makes it good for harassment and just, you know, denying your opponent a lot of resources. There we go, just lots of units being cut down here with the flak half track. 10 kills, Veteran C1, coming under fire from field gun, pop smoke. And there you go, can't get trouble here from the Panzerfusiliere. As they find themselves in a bit of trouble.
Fresh guards troops are standing by.
We got guards infantry now arming for KoreanArmy, getting the DP light machine gun as well.
We are losing territory.
Oh, Gott in Himmel! That almost got the entire unit. But we got here HolyHammer actually dominating the map now. He's actually put KoreanArmy a bit on the back foot, though he's certainly taking a bit of punishment in the process. The flak half track is only helping him sort of keeping up large amounts of territory by, well, locking down a large amount of territory with a rather high rapid fire weapon of quite some potency. He's got Panzerx now, sort of trying to hold a lot of the territory. At the same time, this is where it gets risky for HolyHammer, since he's trying to use a doctrine not necessarily really meant for, well, defensive action to try and, well, pull off a defensive action. At the very least, you should consider maybe some more flak half tracks that way, shifting over from munitions again, and then setting up to sort of cover vital junctions. I mean, you've got to get up 3 flak half tracks, I'd say 1 here, around there, 1 maybe around here. A bit hard to get from field gun, and then 1 here. Would actually make things a bit tricky there for KoreanArmy that way, deny him a lot of fuel, and cut down a lot of his infantry. You could also further sort of spend more manpower on things they could deal with the flak half tracks, further delaying anything else. Maybe also giving HolyHammer more time for, you know, taking up and getting further. So again, you can hold both fuel points, and again trade maybe also both munitions points towards that. I mean, he's getting 71 munitions. I mean, it's nice to see he's trading for it, but at the same time, I rather feel like at this point he should really consider shifting back towards trading for fuel. Got KoreanArmy striking back. Maximum in trouble. Flak half attack moving in. Conscripts running away.
Point secured, but the enemy wants it back.
Engineers ready.
He's still just trading a ton of fuel away. Absolutely amazing.
Enemy forces are capturing our supplies.
More Panzer Shreks on the way. He could maybe consider some more Minen as well.
Heads down, engineers. Enemy fire.
There you go. Some commies there trying to lay down a mine of their own, but they quickly found themselves under the rapid attention here of the Panzerfusiliere. Once more, we've seen KoreanArmy here a bit pushed back.
Target vehicle marking available.
Grenades going off, or at least attempting to go off and not quite succeeding. Hey, Morty also proving to be quite an obstacle here. Getting a few kills here and there, forced away. Panzer, or Sturmpioniere in a lot of trouble as the Panzerfusiliere continued on. Still trading for munitions, though he's starting to lose a bit on the resources there. Unable to keep up the pressure quite as much there. Much, I imagine, to the relief of KoreanArmy, though he's probably not quite aware how much fuel is actually being traded away, which actually is giving KoreanArmy quite the fuel advantage. On the other hand, even with a little amount of territory sort of held for half the time. There you go again, popping back here as the field gun arrives. Closing in on Veteran T2. Field gun firing through the smoke, hoping to catch the fascist flak half track, but not quite successful.
Us and defeat.
No further sort of develops again. It really seems like, I mean, in fact, he just needs to wait a bit more and get out the T-35s, in which case HolyHammer will be in a bit of a sticky situation, since again, he's not quite got the resources to really deal with that. I mean, he's got some Panzer, he's got some Raketenwerfer, but still, 2 T-35s will be able to soak up more damage, and they can also do quite a bit of damage versus infantry and Raketenwerfer. So there's a bit of a danger there involved for HolyHammer with his current force comes in. It's also going to make this whole trading constantly fuel for munitions thing a lot more dangerous and a lot more perilous and a lot more of a short-sighted idea.
It is now under
I mean, he really should soon consider switching away from it.
The enemy is taking what we have secured.
Otherwise, he's going to get one very nasty Stalinist surprise soon coming in for him. I mean, at the very least, you could soon actually get a Puma to support. That might help a bit. If you suppose he's utterly desperate, he could, of course, try for a Jagdpanther 4, though. I mean, once he's going up versus T-3045s, that could also quickly fall apart, in particular he's got Smoker with marked vehicle, one flank, and that's the Jagdpanzer 4. And when you also consider he's not really got anything covering the flanks, no mines, no anything, that also leaves a lot of risks there for a Jagdpanzer. We got another Panzer unit here, also getting Gewehr for the free, so he's increasing the number of Panzerfusiliere here versus KoreanArmy.
He's gone. The new men have arrived.
Northern point being secured. You got that here, more to far away. Having a bit of a hard time now.
Is capturing supply sector.
Slaying any Hitlerites. Finding a focus in the centre again. We can now see KoreanArmy is very much waiting for those T-35 to turn the tide here. Any moment now, any moment. He's going to give HolyHammer a good hammering.
Our T-34s have been
But until then, HolyHammer keeps up the offensive here versus the Russian hordes. There we go. Come on, point reach. He just needs the manpower now, in which case things are going to look a little more unpleasant here for HolyHammer, who's not, for example, laid down any mines either along major routes here to, for example, create kill zones for the... Oh, wait, never mind, there's there. Silly me.
Prepare for orders.
ready to execute.
Still trading for a ton of munitions there. I mean, he's absolutely
Standing by.
well devoted towards it. 81 munitions per minute. That's a ton.
Is back to full strength.
But it is time here for the mid-game analysis. Quick looking at damage and kills. We're actually noting they're extremely close in damage. In fact, KoreanArmy's got a small advantage to kill-wise. Things are looking a bit better there for the other fellow. And in terms of sort of army value, we noted here though that KoreanArmy's a bit slack behind. Again, that's a sort of, you know, trying to wait for the T-35s whereas he's going versus flak half-tracks and other things that can actually tear apart his conscripts reasonably alright. And of course also that way build up a more sizable force here, thus working something a bit more than his opponent, though of course that's soon going to change. Overall for HolyHammer, really the primary issue here, stop trading munitions, you bastard. Get some fuel out. Get some fuel out. I mean, get something out. I mean, Pumas out. Get a couple of those out, maybe at the very least. And that way, sort of try to stall your opponent. Or take up and get a Panther. Just do something rather than constantly trading munitions away. I mean, or for munitions, that's not really going to help in the longer run, I fear. As for Korean Army, again, he's going to play a bit of a gambit here. Could actually work if he can catch off sort of all these anti-tank weapons. He's HolyHammer sort of spread out there. Recent dice doesn't run into any mines. He might have a good chance there of wrecking HolyHammer. At the same time, that requires him to properly support the T-3045s, clearing out any anti-tank weapons, rapidly prioritising them first. If he doesn't, or for that matter, gets caught in an anti-tank kill zone, for example, right here in front of those two Raketen, he's going to end up in a very lot of trouble there, and then it might as well be GG's. There's some risks there involved for Korean Army's counter-strand. Again, that's mines and the anti-tank weapons that HolyHammer can muster against him. But get those T-3045s out, maybe considering more some infantry out or some more artillery, something to further pressure HolyHammer after that. More mines for himself would also be good to that way slow things down. But back here to the fight. Going here for the cut-off again, landing a nice stranglehold there on the Russians. Though again, any moment now, any moment, HolyHammer's in for a surprise, and there we go. T-35 or Flak Half taking a bit of damage. Though there we go, Veteran T2. Another bit of smoke. There we got conscripts rushing through. Ooh, what's this? And there they go, almost getting hit by their own mortars. Panzer getting up, some good shots there. And there we go, the T-3045s have arrived, mobilized for war. If only HolyHammer could sort of put up a good defense against. There they go, T-35s arriving. Cover shatters as they get blasted there. And there you go, first bit of work there. Anti-tank rifle grenade. Panzer strikes as well, but the T-35s quickly force back this entire force. Rather close up, there's high close of threat. Plus, of course, there's also the armor, well, mortar here available to Korean Army. One T-35 stopped up, then he's going to repairs. Of course, he's got self-repair, so that will help. McKenna moving up, we got another punch for the unit. There we go, half down though. Both McKenna moving up to try and hunt down that T-35. Bit tricky to do there, but actually managed to do a bit of damage here for the faster land. While in the matter, meanwhile, the heavy mortar's trying to get them. He might want to consider actually a precision strike first, and that can actually be quite devastating right there, knocking out the Raketen never were to consider it. And there we go, got one. No, without a precision strike, the other way, it does sort of also highlight the vulnerability of the Raketen crew. It doesn't take much before the entire thing gets cleared out. So both T-35s here escaping. Whereas HolyHammer did suffer some losses. And the damage, of course, can last be repaired, whereas the other things have to sort of be, you know, paid for in manpower. He's still trading for munitions. He's not trading fuel at all. Or for fuel. Certainly starting to look like an increasingly risky gambit. He also needs to pull back that flak half track for some repairs. I mean, there's no reason to not get repaired and get it back in the fight as quickly as possible, so that way, you know, deal with infantry on the flanks. I mean, try to keep it away, of course, from the T-35, but otherwise, you know, try to sort of catch some infantry squads here and there, pummel them, further bleed out Korean Army. The more he can do that, at least, he might have a chance of still holding on. Of course, the T-35s will still be a massive threat. Motor got now assault artillery unlocked. Soon we'll have the Yaktiga, though that seems less of a likely option to forget. And that way, you know, deal with things here. I mean, that would be massively expensive and certainly would not really be viable anytime soon, considering how much he's been trading away for munitions. I mean, had he been trading for fuel for quite some time, you know, it might have been possible. In which case, he might have an interesting chance here. Or we could also just have gone for a Panther.
Combat engineers are standing by.
Something demolished.
Supply lines have been cut. Awaiting command.
Quick assault there from the Panzer Fusilier. And guardsmen found themselves overwhelmed. But on the other hand, we did see a fossil screen here wiped out. Huge loss there for HolyHammer. Another damage engine there, while the Panzer Fusilier take quite a flashing. We've got more Volkswagen on the way for HolyHammer. Still not utilising at all breakthrough tactics. I'm a bit disappointed in that one. Bit disappointed. Quick Molotov there stops the Panzer or the Sturmbunnier. And now we actually got assault artillery going in here, I think, on this sector. An interesting decision. In particular, there's not really much in it. I mean, it's assault artillery laid down. Have first the artillery barrels killing, and then you can sort of charge through a smoke screen. Now here, it's not really going to have much purpose, except trying to do some damage to the opponent's infantry without having to aim greatly. There we go, one strike in the heavy mortar. Almost got it. A lot of shots though that basically miss. Oh, got a hit off there on the heavy mortar group. Still no real wipes there. Lots of smoke. But ultimately a bit wasted. And mostly basically silenced the heavy mortar for about 30 seconds. Panzer Fusilier on off.
Awaiting command. We are awaiting orders.
Bit of a minor advance here.
Capturing our supplies.
3 Raketenwerfers. 3 Raketenwerfers for HolyHammer. Someone's feeling confident or something, I don't know. The flak half-track, by the way, has been utterly forgotten. Oh, dear, he might get his T-35 caught by this one. Nope, just beyond the arc of fire. Then the other one moves in straight between the two. Oh dear, the Raketenwerfer is actually such awkwardly positioned that the assault here from KoreanArmy actually managed to completely overwhelm both of them, sending them running. Oh, mine went off there. Mine went off. You got heavy engine damage there for KoreanArmy. Another Raketenwerfer that's right nearby. And there you go, that T-35's caught out in the open. While he's still getting more fuel though, there's still going to be time for another one, so that might actually give HolyHammer there a slight advantage. Or at least a bit of brief respite. Almost got that one though. One more rocket. But grenade gets it. Grenade gets the crew. And then something else got it. Maybe another mine, I'm not sure. Or maybe it was a Panzerwreck here. And then a heavy mortar round gets them in return. Virtually too well here for KoreanArmy's heavy mortar. Damage continues incessantly. Now you got a bit more smoke there. The flak half-track quickly forced to fall back. Very close to resuming a direct hit from the heavy mortar, which could have knocked it out potentially. Now, of course, the question is, what will he do? He's still trading munitions. Or for munitions. He's not really trading for fuel. He's not even trying. He's not really getting anything else. He really should consider doing something else here than just, throwing Panzer Fusiliers at opponent and expending a ton of munitions. I mean, he's not giving our munitions out of it anymore, so it's starting to seem a bit pointless. Sort of mildly put.
I can't move. Guard squad ready. Fire on the jazz.
KoreanArmy setting out again. The situation there is getting increasingly desperate here from HolyHammer, from going from being rather strong again, the lack of further preparation, anything rather left in open here, to a heavy armoured punch from KoreanArmy. Now a bit, well, I should say toothless. He's getting a Jagdpanzer IV. Bit of a move of desperation there, I feel. The Jagdpanzer.
We are losing territory.
And all that's going to require is one good flank and that thing's down. In particular, these old very soon they're going to be able to call in another pair of T-3045s. So he's actually got a ton of infantry, so that might delay that process a bit. Of course, to note, HolyHammer is still refusing to use breakthrough tactics or even consider Sturmoffizier. He's so far been very narrowly using the breakthrough doctrine. 2 out of 5 abilities so far. Can't help but feel that's not necessarily the most effective usage. Whereas KoreanArmy is allowed to make use of everything in it. Maybe except Mark vehicle. There we go. Jagdpanzer mobilized from a Panzerjägerabteilung. And of course the Soviet pendant to this one was pretty much the Su-100, more or less the same sort of development history. Sort of based on a previous Tankstrom model, Su-85, Jagdpanzer for regular. And it sort of added up with a bigger gun, and they also ended up basically suffering the same issues. The gun was actually too big for the chassis, resulting in it slightly tipping forwards, which could actually, well, wreck the gun if they were not too careful. So there was sort of issues there. The only difference was, though, the Su-100 only came in like the last few months of the war, about the same time that the Jagdpanzer arrived on the Eastern Front, which, by the way, only arrived around February. The Jagdpanzer 4, on the other hand, even the 70 version, arrived notably earlier than that. So, little fun fact there, little fun fact. There you go, Jagdpanzer moving forward. So, Veteran 2 with the T-35. Need to consider getting out of there before the Jagdpanzer 4 plucks it full of, well, too many holes.
We are losing supplies to the enemy.
You have a target?
You need something built?
Field gun standing.
Another Panzer Fusilier, and he's still, by the way, trading for munitions. He's not even using his flak half-track either. I mean, come on, HolyHammer. At least use it to guard some of the victory points or some of the flanks from the infantry.
Taking fire!
Running forward to that Jagdpanzer again. Field here, by the way, a bit poorly left out in the open by KoreanArmy. A bit of a mistake there, Field. Jump on his close again eventually. There you go, another pair of T-35 rolling forward. Sturm, you need to fall back. Jagdpanzer, hold his back. And there we go, we got Mark vehicle going off there, I think, on the Jagdpanzer. We got Kenmer first dealing with the advancing armour. Need to be a bit careful there. A bit interesting, he's actually willing to go head on with it. That might be the last point, though. You might at least want to try to partner. Oh! Sturmer went down. T-35 pulling back. The Kenmer forced away as well. Jagdpanzer 4 rolling rapidly forwards. I'm surprised he didn't, try to at least sneak behind it initially. Or flank from the north.
The enemy has killed another infantry squad.
Oh well. Field gun there, trying to be captured. Still got 2 tanks somewhat away from the other one. There's going to need some repairs. Quick self-repair there. Might work out. Veterans, it's 4 Panzer Fusilier, though, find themselves decimated. The flak half-track is still waiting in a base, unloved and uncared for by HolyHammer all of a sudden. A bit of Veterans 1 there for the Jagdpanzer, whereas the T-34s strike out versus other targets.
The enemy is encroaching on our territory.
Well, we finally got the flak half-track moving forwards again. Took it long enough. He's still not repairing the other T-34 though. You might want to consider doing that. And there we go, setting up a note, by the way, Veteran 2. A lot more lethal dudes again, it's more rapid setup rate there in that case. KoreanArmy's conscripts end up taking quite the punishment. Surprised it took them that long to try and repair the tanks though. Though again, one proper flank here, and that Jagdpanzer 4 is too snug. But again, he seems to be going here for head-on assault. A bit reckless there by KoreanArmy. Also a bit silly. Looks like the Kidnappers moving up to shore up the least one flank there. The Jagdpanzer 4 looks like HolyHammer's realising what's going, pulling back the Jagdpanzer. And there we go, Panther Fusilier in a bit of trouble. Almost got the entire unit. And there we go, flak half track quickly and definitely put a stop there to the Russian infantry advance. But now the Yak Panzer IV is actually getting into a bit of trouble. It now has to worry about an assault from here. There's not a lot to stop there. But at the same time also comes up from the assault from the north. So now things are actually getting a bit unpleasant there for HolyHammer. And again, his lack of fuel and anything is rather beginning to bite him in the eyes. There you go, the T-35 dealt with. He's been pushed back, but again, now the north is home. He just needs to move forward to those T-35s to strike rapidly. I mean, come on, Korean Army. Forward for socialism. There we go, Yak Panzer IV, really exposed. Trying to turn about there, he needs to target it down. There you go, shots going off there on the Yak Panzer. Blocking the retreat path as well. Veterans E2 there, I'm surprised he didn't try to flank it with the other one, waiting until it's in front. Looks like it's somehow actually managed to escape here, the T-35. I'm surprised the Korean Army didn't just try to hunt it down fully. Although moving in there, flak half check actually got abandoned. And the Yak Panzer IV are still hanging about here. And one T-35 here went down, I think, to the Kedden Airport or something else. Maybe the folks was there with the Panzerring have the answer. There we go, flak half check over there using the Soviet army and wrecked. Korean armored forces there continuing. Bit of large engagements here, trying to get that field gun, but the Russians are quick to counter-attack. HolyHammer seeming a bit upset here about things. And game over. There might be an argument that the T-35s are maybe a bit too potent, though at the same time, the thing is, and that's a bit of a critique there towards HolyHammer, it's not like he was, you know, told in advance with the heavy mortar and the Guards infantry what was coming his way. I mean, that pretty much means Guards, motor, he had most of the map, he had most of the fuel points, a lot of munitions. I mean, he could easily prepare for it, but he didn't. That was really sort of the major mistake there from HolyHammer, sort of really odd. I mean, it was interesting, but it was still, you know, ultimately a grand strategic mistake because he just kept at it. He absolutely did not veer from it, and that was really a bad mistake. Plus the flag half track doing nothing for them for the later half of the game was also a mistake. But ultimately, you know, he basically set himself up for being beaten with the T-35s despite knowing them coming. So in that regard, you know, he should have shifted much sooner, built up a large fuel amount, built for Panthers, King Tigers, hell, I know, a Yacht Tiger. Instead, you know, he waited until it was pretty much already, you know, staring him down in the eyes with a rolled up sleeve and blood on his fists. Then he went for a Yak Panzer IV, which ultimately, obviously, is not really going to cut it in the long run. So in that regard, you know, it's HolyHammer rather blinded by a strategy there, which ultimately, you know, rather set him on a path where he did not react to what was going on and then act to deal with it until it was too late. So in that regard, you know, that is largely it here. Nicely played by Korean, but also very risky again. Had HolyHammer not been so obsessed with things and pretty much ignored all the warning signs, Korean Army probably wouldn't have gotten beaten there. Again, it's not really something to keep doing at this old style Soviet metagame. It was only really because of what HolyHammer did. It was actually feasible. Otherwise, he should have tagged up earlier, gotten himself some tanks at the very least to light the tank, the T-34, maybe the T-70. That way, dealt with HolyHammer, then maybe set up for the T-35s, in which case you'd also gone for fuel caches. So there were definitely some flaws there within Korean Army's play, without a doubt. But ultimately, though, HolyHammer's flaws were on a much larger scale, in which ultimately undermined things entirely. So that's rather important there to keep in mind. But otherwise, there's still something different, something interesting. But again, there was definitely some lacking in strategy, but also lacking in use of the doctrine. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. Hope it gave you some ideas for your own matches. If you did want to subscribe to your friends, share it with everyone. This is Imperial Dancing. Cheers, and see you all tomorrow. Bye.